Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about a famous writer of children's stories. His name is Ronald Dahl. I suppose you should know him for his stories and not for his name. He wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, yes, the story of the famous movie with Johnny Depp as a principal character, who invite kids around his funny factory looking for his successor. Also, he wrote another famous story that you may know. I'm talking about Matilda, that little girl with magic powers who has a terrible family and director of a school, but meet a really beautiful person, her teacher, who at the end of the story decide to adopt her. But I want to talk about the life of his famous and important writer. So, he born in September 13 on 1916 and he died in November 23 on 1909 and penned 19 children's stories. Children's books. Among those are the ones that I mentioned earlier. Recently, I have read two stories of one of his books. The title was Taste and Another Tales. Both stories was so interesting but different at the same time. The first is A Swim, that talks about a group of people traveling on a ship and preparing for the kilometers traveled by the ship. The principal character was Mr. Volleyball. He is an ambitious man who bet for the low field because of the bad weather. But he takes the worst decision at the next day. He wakes up and saw out the window of his room and saw a really sunny day and starts planning the perfect plan. He has a terrible idea. Jump out the boat to make the ship go back to save him and reduce the kilometers traveled. To get done the plan, he needs that someone see him jump out the ship. So he decides to go the sun deck of the ship and there he finds an old woman. He talks with her to make sure that she will help him he talks with her to make sure that she will help him going to search help. In the short talk he mentioned that he will make his morning exercise, and after talk he turn back and get away from her, take a breath and jump with arms on top and screaming help. But the old woman see him jump, but she get fries, like he don't know what to do. And seconds later came his son telling like, "Mom, finally I find you. What are you doing here?" And she answered, "A stranger man jumped out the ship, telling me that he will make his morning exercise." And her son obviously thought he was crazy or tired, so take her into living room of the ship, and the poor Mr. Volleyball get his swim in the middle of the ocean. Another story was Born and Faith. The story starts at the hospital where a mother was worried about his baby. because he's seeing a lot of people in top of him, and is demanding see her baby to be sure that he's okay. He is okay. Why the doctor is saying that the baby is fine and strong, and they are just cleaning and preparing him to meet his mother in the best conditions. She is still fighting because her fear. The doctor don't understand anything about the fear of the woman until she starts to explain the sadness story of her baby's lost. Ida, Otto, and Gustav, and the fear he has to her husband because his problem with alcohol and his selfless attitude about their children and his wife. At the end of the story, the doctor took the baby and gave it to his mother. In that moment, she can't take a breath because his baby is finally fine. Birth and Fate is an emotional story about the love of the family and the sadness of the death. Talks about the birth of the fourth baby in an unlucky family who have been lost the last three babies for unknown reasons. Finally, I thought that all should read something of this writer, no matter if it's a book or a short text like a story, but I think he really knows how catch our attention, especially in the unexpected ends. Bye, I hope you like this video. See you later.